We got us a Walking Liberty Ender. My first find since I come over to bottom feed with Scott. Looks like we got us a big old dandy button. Let's see what we have. Oh yeah. Got us a Benji. Thinking we got some silver here. Oh no, it's not. We have us a Walker. We got us a cat bust. I can't make out a year or anything yet. That is awesome. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Rick from Hunting Southwest Ohio, and we are back for episode 2 of the Nickel Album Hunt and Fill series. So we're here, we've got our albums in front of us. We'll go through, give a quick update to where we were at. If you're not caught up, I will have a link up above. Go ahead, click on that, get yourself caught up if you'd like. For those of you who followed along in the last episode, we are in the first album, 1938 through 1961D. We currently have 16 of 66 spots filled in this album. Pretty good for just one box so far. We'll take it. So let's go ahead and have a look at album number 2. Album number 2 will be our 1962 through 1995P. And we currently have 28 of 66 spots in here. Got a few decent examples in this album, but we can definitely do some upgrading. So great start to this one as well. And album number 3, which is our 1996 through our current 2021Ds. We'll be looking for 2022s here shortly. I hear they are out. I've been hearing from some people they have found a couple. So looking to find those and add those to the album, and we currently have 35 out of 63 spots filled in this album, so we're getting pretty close. And them 35 of 63 spots, I'm sorry, I did deduct out our 22s, 23s, and 24s from that, so we're doing pretty good for one box. Got some nice examples in here as well. So we got another box of circulated nickels here in front of us. We're going to go ahead and get into these, see what we can add to the album. I will bring you back in on the first find. Roll 3, and first find of this box, we have a 1958 out of Denver. Roll 7, and we have got our first 40s nickel of the hunt. We have a 1940 out of Philly. Roll 8, and we have got our second 50s nickel of the hunt. And we have a decent looking 1956 out of Philly. Roll 14, and we have our second 40s nickel of the hunt. And it is another 1940 out of Philly. Roll 15, and we have our third 50s nickel. 1958 out of Denver. And we have another older looking one behind this. I'm assuming this will be a 40s or 50s. And it is a 1946 out of Philly. Roll 16 and 50s nickel number 4. Another 1958 out of Philly. Roll 19. And we have got our fifth 50s nickel of the hunt. It's another 1958 out of Denver. Fourth one of the box. And we also back here have this one, looks a little older. It is another 1946 out of Philly. Same roll. It is a 1957. She's a beauty. Beautiful shape. 1957 out of Denver. I'm sure that will upgrade the album. Awesome. Roll 22, and we have another 50s nickel. The fifth 58 of the hunt, 1958 out of Denver. Roll 24, and we have another nickel here. I'm seeing a demint mark. It looks a little older. Back's pretty wore. And we have a 59 out of Denver. Not a 40s, not a 30s, but we'll take it. Same roll, we have another 1940s. This is our fifth one of the hunt. And we have a 1941 out of Philly. Roll 30. And we have a decent looking 1941. It will be our 640s nickel of the hunt. And it is out of Philly. Roll 33. And we have 50s nickel, number 8 of the hunt. We have a 1954 out of Denver. Same roll, and we have another 40s, followed by another one that looks fairly wore. And we have a 1947. 47S. That may be a one we need for the album. And right behind it, we have a 1940 out of Denver. Roll 34. And we have another 40s nickel, and this will be 40s nickel number 9 of the hunt. And we have a 1948 out of Philly. Roll 36. And we've got us a 50s nickel number 10. I think I was off on my count last time. I think I said 8. It was 9. This will be 10. And we have a 1955. A Philly would be a semi-key. And it will be a Denver, but I will take it. I do not believe we have that in the album yet. All right. Awesome. Roll 37. And we have got a 1952 out of Philly. Roll 39. 40s nickel number 10. It is another 1947 out of Philly. Roll 40. And we have 50s nickel number 12. And it is a 1953 and a Denver. Roll 41. And we have got 40s nickel number 11. And it's another 1947 S. Awesome. Roll 43. And we have 40s nickel number 12. And it is a 1940. I believe that is a 40S. Yes, it is. We'll take it. Roll 46. And we have another 50s nickel. I believe this is number 14, maybe. 1959. Out of Denver. Roll 47. And we have 40s nickel number 13. It is another 1946. And this one will be out of Denver. Roll 50. And we have one more 50s nickel. And it is another 1958. All right, we have all 50 rolls hunted. Did very, very well in our 40s and 50s finds. We have quite a few here across the top. Try to upgrade the album. So, we're going to go ahead, get into the albums. I'll bring you in one by one, show you what additions we have or any upgrades. So I'll bring you back in and get the first album ready to go. All right, book number 1, we have everything laid out. Here we're going to have an addition of a 40S. We're going to upgrade a 41. We're going to add a 47S. We're also going to add a 1952 Philly. We're going to add a 53D. We're going to add a 1955D. We're going to add a 1956. Here we are, 55D, 56. And then right down below we got a really nice 57D that we're going to add. And then here we have a 58 and a 58D. And then down here we're going to upgrade a 1961 and a 1961D. So, great progress here in book number 1. That's going to put us at 25 out of 66 spots now. We gained 9 spots in this one. Let me get these swapped out and we'll get into album 2. All right, book number 2, our 1962 through 1995. So we have 9 additions and 5 upgrades in here. So we'll be upgrading a 62D. We will be adding a 1966. We will also be upgrading a 69D. We'll be upgrading a 70S. We'll be adding a 72D. We'll be adding a 75D. We'll also be adding 73D. And then we're adding an 84P and an 84D. We're going to upgrade a 1986. We're going to add an 86D. Here's our 86D here. We're also going to add that 88D here. And then we're adding a 1993D here. And then we're going to upgrade a 1995 Philly. So, more action in this one for sure with some upgrades and additions. I'll go ahead, get these swapped out, and we will get into book 3. Alright, we are back with book 3, which is our 1996 through 2024. We'll be waiting on those 2022s to come out. But we do have 6 additions in one upgrade in this album. So we're going to be adding a 2004D here. We're going to be adding a upgrading a 2006D, adding a 2007D, adding a 2009D. We're going to add a 2011D, a 2014D, and we're going to add a 2016D. So, more progress made. We're getting pretty close here on this one, so we're now at 41 out of 63 spots in this album. So, let me get these added in. I'll come back with a total of where we're at, and see you in a second. Alright, we are back. We have book 3 all slotted. So for the total of the 3 books, that now puts us at 103 out of 195 spots full. But we're also counting these 2, 4, 6 spots here for 2022, 2023, and 2024. It'll be a while before we get the 23s, 24s. We'll be looking for them 22s. So a great progress made in 2 hunts. We'll be back with Hunt 3 real soon. Appreciate everybody coming along. Remember to give a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, and we will see you on the next hunt.
The sweet sun pouring down